सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So in the last class we have seen Bhagavan tells Arjuna that he is the Lord of the universe. And with this Arjuna has a desire now. Arjuna expresses the desire that, O Lord, I want to know your vibhuti, your glories. So for the last couple of classes, we have been discussing the vibhutis of the Lord. So in verse number 20, Bhagavan says, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Sthitaha. Arjuna, I am the self of all beings. I am residing in the hearts of everyone as their very own self. Ahamadischa madhyamcha bhutanam anta evacha. Actually, I alone exist. Now, this is also a vibhuti of the Lord. Bhagavan says, I alone exist. In the beginning, I alone was. In the present also, I alone am. In the future also, I alone will be. So, how to meditate upon this vibhuti? When we experience our existence at the seat of meditation, this existence has to be meditated upon as the existence of the Lord. So we should say, Bhagavan, this existence which I am experiencing, in my ignorance I say I am existing, but the fact is you alone are existing. So this becomes the meditation upon Bhagavan's existence. That is also a glory of Bhagavan. And in verse number 21, Bhagavan says, Adityanam aham Vishnuhu. Among Aditi Putras, Adityas, I am Vishnu in the form of Vamana. Jyotisham Raviram Shuman. Among the luminaries, I am Sun. Among the Marudganas, I am Marichi. And in the night, among the stars, the entities which give light in the night, I am more. So up to this we had seen till now. Now we will see verse number 22. Vedanam samavedosmi Devanamasmi vasavah Indriyanam manaschasmi Bhutanamasmi chetana. Yes. Vedanam samavedosmi. Among all the Vedas, I am Sama Veda. So how many Vedas are there? So we have 4 Vedas. What are they? Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharvana Veda and Sama Veda. So Bhagavan says here, among the 4 Vedas, I am Sama Veda. So what is the speciality of Sama Veda? This is the only Veda where the mantras can be chanted to a tune. There's a tune, there is a music, there's a melody in the mantras. So we all know when something is sung, it is appreciated by the heart. We love it. So in any statement, there are 2 entities. One is the meaning of the statement. The second is the tune of the statement. Any sentence essentially has got 2. Number 1, what does that sentence say? Number 2, how is that sentence said? So one appeals to the head, the other appeals to the heart. The meaning of the statement, the meaning of the mantras, the meaning appeals to the head or the intellect. But the tune in which that mantra is chanted, that appeals to the heart, to our mind. So in Sama Veda, the meaning is also precious, and the way it is chanted, it is musical, it is sweet. So Bhagavan says, among all the Vedas, among the 4 Vedas, I am Sama Veda, which can be sung. Next one, Devanam asmi Vasavaha. Among all the Devatas, I am Vasavaha. Now, who is Vasava? Vasava means Indra. And who is Indra? Indra is the king of all gods. So Bhagavan says, among gods, I am the king, Indra. So the Puranas and all, though we make fun of Devatas, Indra, etc., there are so many stories which contain criticism of Indra, ridicule of Indra. But we have to keep in mind, it is not easy to become Indra. In the Vedic times, if you see, Indra is very much respected. Even in the prayer also, we invoke the grace and blessings of Indra. Shanno mitrasham varunah, Shanno bhavatvaryama, Shanna indro brihaspatihi. Shamna Indraha. May Indra bless us. So the Vedic chantings we find, we seek blessings even from Indra. Now, just imagine, even to enter into Swargaloka, it is difficult. A lot of punya is necessary even to enter Swargaloka. Then how much punya must be necessary to become the king of Indraloka? To become the king of Swargaloka. That Swargaloka itself is called Indraloka sometimes, because Indra is the king. So it is said you have to do 100 Ashwamedha Yaga to become Indra. Ashwamedhi Indra. It is not just performing Ashwamedha Yaga. It is all about punya. the merit, how you have lived your life here in this world. So the person should have lived a dharmic way. The person should have done a lot of charity in his life. The person should have controlled his senses, from which all these things he generates a punya. And the person who is the most meritorious with respect to merits, with respect to punya, the person who has earned maximum punya, such a person alone becomes Indra. So this padavi, the Indra padavi, is given according to the cosmic law, according to the merit. No reservation, etc. is possible there. Lord Brahma appoints Indra. And it is said that this Indra, it is a post, it is not a person. Just like we have chief minister, prime minister, president, etc. It is a post. So the person comes, remains there for an allotted period of time, and that Jivatma goes away. So it is said that during one Manvantara, the Indra remains there. So when the Manu changes, Indra also has to change. So among all gods, I am the king of God, who is Indra. Indra also in Tattvabodha we find Hastayor Indra. Indra is the presiding deity of hands. Hands represents hard work. You have to really work hard to become Indra. So the one who works really hard, the best among the hard workers. Right. Next one. Indriyanam manah cha asmi. Among all the Indriyas, I am the mind. Among all the Indriyas, I am the mind. So what are the Indriyas we have? We have Pancha Jnanendriyas and we have Pancha Karmendriyas. So what are the Pancha Jnanendriyas? The organ of seeing, the organ of hearing, touch, smell, taste. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha. So we are able to gain the information of the world through our organ of knowledge, Jnanendriyas. Exactly like we have the input device in computer. There's an input device. The computer has to gain information from the world. That information is gathered through the input device. In the same way, our input device, through which we gain information about the world. The world information is in the form of sound, shabda, sparsha, touch, rupa, form, rasa, taste, gandha, smell. So how do we gain information? Through the organs of knowledge. And then we perform action through karmendriyas. So what are they? Hands, legs, tongue, genital organ, and anus. So 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas. Now, Bhagavan says, among all the indriyas, I am the mind. Strictly speaking, mind doesn't come under indriyas. But mind is also included in this set of 10 because, so therefore total it becomes 11. Because without mind, these sense organs cannot function. For example, eyes may be open, but if the mind is not there, that eyes will not be able to see. That's why it is possible that a person can sleep with open eyes. When a person sleeps with open eyes, he is not registering anything, though the eyes are open. Why the eyes are not able to register anything? It is not able to register anything because the mind is not there. So it is possible that a person is looking, but he is not seeing. Looking with attention is called seeing. In the same way, a person may be hearing, but he may not be listening. hearing with attention is called listening. So mind is absolutely essential for the sense organs to function. This one entity called mind is able to function in all the fields. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha. It's a wonder. It is also a wonder that this very same mind in the dream is able to create these sense organs. All the sense organs that we have in the dream. In the dream also we have a body. We have eyes, ears, hands, legs. Who creates all that? It is his mind. Mind can create sense organs. So all the indriyas function because of sense organs. Therefore, Bhagavan says, among all the sense organs, I am the mind. Indriyanam manascha asmi. Next one, bhutanam asmi chetana. In all living beings, bhutanam, Bhagavan says, I am the very life principle in them. Now here, all the Vedantic students must be careful. In Vedanta, there is a difference between consciousness and life. Please keep in mind, when we use the term consciousness in Vedanta, it is not used in a medical sense. In a medical sense, consciousness is a function of the mind. So in a medical sense, we can say he has lost consciousness. He has lost consciousness means the mind is no more available to transact with the world. Mind has become off. That is the meaning unconscious state. So consciousness has something to do with the mind in medical terminology. Whereas in Vedanta, consciousness has nothing to do with the mind. In fact, mind functions because of consciousness. Consciousness is called Chit. So Sat, Chit, Anand. That Chit is called consciousness. Chit is called consciousness. So consciousness is present everywhere. Then what is the difference between consciousness and life? Consciousness expressing in a gross body through the subtle body is what is called as life. Consciousness itself expresses as life in a gross body, but only when there is subtle body present. So this is the difference. So therefore, what is death? Death is nothing but absence of life. It is not absence of consciousness. Consciousness can never be absent because it is all pervading. Just like space. Space can never be absent. In the same way, consciousness can never be absent. Even in a dead body, consciousness is there. But then what is missing in a dead body is life. Why life is not there? Life is not there because subtle body has left the gross body. For more details, please refer Tattva Bodha. Sukshma Sharira leaves the Sthula Sharira, the subtle body, or what we call as thought bundle, or Antakarana, the inner instrument. They're all different terms for subtle body. When that leaves, consciousness is no more able to express as life in the gross body. Then we say that body is dead. So here Chetana means life. In living beings, Bhutanam, I am the very life in them. So what is actually life? Life is nothing but the expression of consciousness alone. Exactly like There is a sunlight and there is a reflected light from the mirror. So what is the difference between reflected light and sunlight? For the reflected light to exist, mirror is essential. In the same way, for the life to exist, subtle body is essential. The nature of reflected light and the nature of original light, it is the same. It is light. In the same way, consciousness reflected in the mind is called life. And that life also expresses similar to consciousness. So the reflected consciousness in the mind and the original consciousness, they are of the same nature. The consciousness that we experience is actually reflected consciousness. It is reflected in the medium called mind, in the medium called subtle body. So the point is this: consciousness expresses as life only when the mind is present, only when the subtle body is present in the gross body. The moment the subtle body leaves, the body is also dead. So here Bhagavan says, try to see me as the very life in all beings. In fact, Bhagavan can be meditated as Sat aspect also. Sat means existence. Sat aspect we can meditate upon every object, not only living object. So in the inert things, we find the expression of the Lord as Sat, as existence. Existence is what? Is. The chair is, the table is, the mic is, everything is. That isness is called existence. That existence is a borrowed existence, borrowed from the Lord. Bhagavan alone exists. Everything else is a projection upon that existence, and therefore everything else appears to exist. So in the inert things, we can meditate on God as the existence principle. But even more, little more evolved beings. So from the inert things, next we come to beings. In beings, we are able to see the expression of consciousness as Sat and Chit. We are able to see the expression of God as Sat and Chit. So not only it exists, animals, birds, they exist, but they also have consciousness. They also have what you call as awareness. Yes, let us use that term. They are conscious of their surrounding. So Sat and Chit we can see in birds, animals, little bit in plants also. Sat, Chit. And in the evolved beings, especially Mahatmas, we can see Sat, Chit and Anand. Bliss is also there. So the more and more our mind becomes pure, the more and more we go towards this bliss. The amount of joy content in human beings is much, much higher compared to all the other beings. Ananda is much more. Even among human beings also. Rajasic person has higher joy than tamasic person. Sattvic person has higher joy than Rajasic and tamasic people. Among Sattvic people also, the Mahatmas, the enlightened ones, they experience infinite bliss. So as the mind becomes more and more pure, you will find that you are able to see the expression of God as Sat, Chit and Anand. So here, it is only the life principle that is mentioned. Bhutanam asmi chetana. In all beings, I am the one who is expressing through these beings as life, pulsating as life. Now, this also is a beautiful meditation. When we are paying attention to life, actually we are paying attention to God. Just like a bulb becomes illumined in the presence of electricity. So when I am seeing the light in the bulb, actually I am seeing electricity. When I am seeing the functioning of all electrical equipments, actually I am seeing electricity there. The expression of electricity there. In the same way, life is seen in all beings, that life is an expression of Bhagavan. Bhutanam asmi chetana. So this is another way to meditate upon God and His glory. Paying attention to the life principle in beings. More of it we will see in the next class. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.